Tiger Stadium all quiet except for the one corner of Crimson back here waiting the curtain call from AJ McCarron. We'll get to the particulars of that 72-yard drive in the last minute and a half, AJ, but let's begin with the emotions. You've accomplished a lot as a player and as a team, but what were you feeling when you sprinted to the corner to see your parents at the end of the game?
Every type of emotion you can imagine. I mean, it was just truly a blessing, and none of this would be possible without my teammates, man. I mean, they played a fantastic game. Defense, I mean, they struggled some during the night, but, I mean, that's a very good LSU team over there. And but they came together and gave us a chance to go down and win it.
You know the question, AJ. People wondered, how would Alabama respond when somebody could finally give you a four-quarter fight? Adversity, folks, doesn't get any better than that right there. That was deafening when you guys started that drive. No timeouts, buck 34, 72 yards away. Take us through the final drive.
I mean, it's something we practice all the time. Every Thursday, we go through a 2-minute drill, and Coach Saban puts it pretty tough on us. I mean, he'll be like, a minute with no timeouts or a minute with one timeout, and we got to go 80-something yards.
Can you simulate that, though, in practice?
We
pretty well.
We do. and we go against a pretty tough defense also in practice. So, and that helps us out a ton. And everybody, I mean, you could just see the look in everybody's eyes. I mean, we knew. It was just a confidence level that we would go down and get a touchdown. Right
well, talk about playing this team now, because this is 3 times that you've squared off with them in a calendar year in a great defense, and then playing in this environment, and how big of a challenge it was.
I mean, this place is awesome to play in. I mean, there's so much tradition in this place. It's so loud, especially night game. I mean, Oh, yeah. And I mean, it's something special to play here, but it's just crazy how, like, everybody on our offense just had that look in their eyes and knew that we could go down and score and win the ball game.
What does this say about your team? Because it was a new experience for a lot of guys that maybe weren't starters in last year's championship team and have been through some fights.
I think it says a lot. I think it says a ton about our backup players, the guys that got to fill in spots when guys get tired. I mean, we had some of that on offense tonight. Marvin Shin stepped in. We had to move some guys around, play different positions because Coop went down. And I think it just shows the fight that our team has and a never give up attitude.
What'd you say to your big boys for keeping Mingo and Montgomery and all those boys off you?
They won't have to pay for a meal the rest of this week, probably. You guys are in field goal range. You're in field goal range to force overtime. But talk about the touchdown pass, the flip back to the freshman TJ Yeldon, who stepped up on a big stage.
I mean, you can't say enough about him, especially after what happened to us down here. And a lot of freshmen would have went in the hole right there, and he's bounced back, and we had all the faith in him. But like I said, none of that at all would be possible without our big guys up front.
How many times, AJ, as a kid growing up, have you dreamed about a drive and a touchdown like that?
I mean, that's something you dream about in any sport you play. When you're a little kid, you're like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or shoot it or throw it. I mean, that's awesome, and it'll go down in the history of Alabama, and it's special to be a part of.
I can tell you're still just taking it in. Do you have any sense of how that's going to be replayed a million times, and you're going to be thrown in there with the Stablers and the Stars and the Namaths and guys like that?
I can't even imagine right now. I mean, there's just so many emotions running through me right now, and I'm just truly blessed.
Well, Kirk Herbstreit has a question for you. He was watching the finish of this game from Manhattan, Kansas. Kirk, fire away.
Hey, AJ, congratulations, man, on that last drive. It was interesting, after everything you've accomplished, to see the outpouring of emotion after you guys secured that victory. Can you just tell us what was going through your mind there as you were looking probably for your family and friends?
I mean, it's hard to explain that. I mean, because that's something I've dreamed of, and that, there's so many great plays in the history of Alabama. And now that to be a part of that drive, like Coach said, it'll be named the drive probably for the history, and so it'll definitely it's definitely something special to be a part of.
What does it say about your team now going forward? You've answered the test. How will you handle adversity in the fourth quarter? There's still some important steps to take, but how did Alabama grow as a football team here tonight, AJ?
Tremendously. But I think it goes back to, everybody paying attention and always focusing on what Coach is preaching. And he's always preaching 60-minute ball game, fight through adversity, never give up attitude. And we got a tough one next week. Texas A&M coming in, so we're going to have to be back. Enjoy this win for 24 hours like Coach says and come back and be ready to play next week.
In the chaos of Tiger Stadium, 72 yards and 43 seconds for a game-winning, perfect season-preserving touchdown drive, A.J. McCarron in Alabama. This is one for the Tide's history books.